Hey everyone, it's me. Welcome to the channel. We're continuing our series on the Book of Kings, and we are in chapter 8. This is the account of Solomon's temple, how it was built, and how it was dedicated. We're going to pick up our story here in verse 10. It says, "And it came to pass in the evening time that the glory of the Lord filled the house of God, and the cloud filled the house of God. And the priests could not enter into the house of God, for the glory of the Lord had filled it." So what do you think this means? Let's dive right in. So let's just kind of look at this passage for a second. We see here that there was a dedication of Solomon's temple. And during the dedication, there was a thick cloud that filled the most holy place. In fact, it filled the entire temple, the house of God. Because of this, the priests were unable to serve. They couldn't minister to the Lord. They couldn't offer sacrifices because the very presence of God was in the temple, which is amazing. So what does a cloud in the Bible mean? Well, many times it points to God's presence. Exodus 19:9 says, "Then the Lord said to Moses, 'Behold, I am coming to you in a thick cloud in order that the people may hear while you are speaking with them, and may put you in the same for all future generations.'" So a thick cloud often speaks of God's power, His majesty, His glory. And that's exactly what we see here. God's glory fills the temple, fills the house of God. It was so thick that no one could see. What's interesting here in 1 Kings chapter 8 is the priests. They couldn't even go into the temple to minister to the Lord. It was so thick, it was so powerful, it was so glorious. They couldn't handle it. Why? Because the presence of God was so overwhelming. It proved to them, it proved to everyone there that day that God dwelt among His people. He was in the temple. He was in the tabernacle, as we saw last week. What a wonderful, awesome, majestic, powerful God we serve. He's worthy to be praised. He's worthy to be honored. He's worthy to be glorified. Let's make sure that we give God all the honor and all the glory, because He's worthy. I hope this helps you understand this passage and see the majesty of God as we continue to walk through the Bible. Let's make sure that we never forget that God is in our midst. He's with us every single day. Sometimes we don't feel like He's here. Sometimes we can't see Him. But if we'll open up God's Word and read His Word, we will remember who God is and what He's done for us. And we'll remember that He is worthy to be praised, honored, and glorified forever. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the Bible in a Year. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'll see you next time.